Hello and welcome, Antoinette here, and welcome back. This is the February reflections and flip through, so we'll take a look at my tarot journal for February and how I've completed it, just to give you inspiration with your own pages and some of the decks that I was using this month. It isn't quite the end of February, so there will be a couple of days that haven't been completed, but I don't think that matters at this point in time, given what I've shown you pre and coming up. So we have my moon diary with the two pens that I've been using for colour coordination. So I have my one for my daily pulls in here, and then my writing up the daily pulls in here. So those are just clipped into the spiral of my moon diary. This is the one by the Flickering Cauldron, my much loved diary by them. The tabs are just tabs that I ordered from Amazon to put on, because although you have nice pages to tell you where they are, I like to just be able to see the pages, the months. So I just grabbed some tabs for a couple of quid and put them on there. And as I said last month with my moon diary, in here I expand on my daily pulls if I want to, or link it into my daily activity or what I know is going to happen in the day. Equally, if I want to just put the keywords that I've written in here, because I don't have a lot of room in here, into this one, and then reflect on what happened in the day, I could then see how that word linked into my day. That's what this diary is over here. For instance, I pulled, without going into too much detail, over here I pulled the Judgment, Rebirth and the World. So I've just put let the petty go, rise up. Anyway, that particular day happened to be, here we go, ended up being horrendous. There was consequences to something. So the Judgment card became literal. It was literal judgment to potentially misuse or miscommunication, and the repercussions of somebody not understanding what had been said was really quite nasty. So that card became literal for me on that day. So that's, if that makes sense, that's how I use it. You might be able to see this one here. There's hardly any writing in there other than do not make a decision, step back and ask for advice. That was the Seven of Cups and the Empress on Sunday. So I haven't come back to writing what went on, but I actually have a good idea. I know what happened there. We have a Tower over there after that Judgment card, like losing the will to live. Yeah, there we have a nice empty one. I've just put feelings of change and reconnection and just left it blank. Today we've got learning some difficult home truths with my cards for today, so that's in here. And then as you can see, I've got Sunday and Monday to go, and then we are into March. And I haven't really used the notes at the back there, all my moons, because actually this month has been so busy, I have not been able to, I haven't had time to do anything with those pages. So there you go, there's that one. Just another quick update and look through. And then here we go into my 22 diary. My bulldog clip is only so that I could get to February, really. I don't think I was clipping anything else in special. So we have, it's colour coordinated. I just have a sticker collage down here, some washi tape. There's the sticker filling in the gap for that bottom grid that I talked about in my, if you go to my March setup pages, which is a very rare thing that I've done, this would be part of the grid that I draw in. And I happen to have a pen that rubs out, so I've rubbed out the lines and then put in, you know, covered up some with collage and then put in my little rabbit and my working decks in there. So it's still the same size grid for anyone who did see that and are wondering how this one got here. And as you can see, the colour picked was pink, quite evident. All my daily pulls have been done in pink. And these are just as you can see, so just writing in, so the cards that pop out the deck, or not, a lot of the cards have jumped out the deck, which is why on some of these you can see there's more than one card, because it hasn't been one card that's come. It's like they've just flown out, like 3 cards here, 3 cards here, 2 cards. So it's been really quite an energetic, weird energetic month. So with the clarity and power going on, there's, let's just say there's been a lot of needing to pull in on this cards of the month, which I did in my year ahead spread for February. Then my week ahead spreads, pink again. I think I was feeling the vibes of February, to be quite honest with you, which is really weird because it's all a bit girly. And my week ahead spread, so we have how to work. No, I've done it differently, this one. Stop. So I've done the oracle, which was the theme of the week, how to work with it, and try not to do. And then I have my reflections and lessons here. That was the only time I used an oracle in my month. So I've not brought that deck out to look at, but it was the compass, the new compass oracle, the new version from Colette Baron Reid. And then I was joining Elaine over at Tarot Tats&Tea with her generation pathway that she was doing, her little journey with generations. And she was giving out, sharing some of the spreads that she was doing. So I was copying them down and then coming back and writing them down. And with that, you pick a different deck. So there's a different deck here that I was using for my generation patterns, which is this one. That's why I've stuck the cards in for that one. And again, for this one, I've stuck the cards in because it was a new deck, different deck to work with. So I was kind of excited to see how it looked on the page. Here we have another one from Tarot Tats&Tea, so the Ancient Ones spread, and the cards that I got for that. And you can see like a different setup. So I drew shapes, wrote my questions, linked them to my shapes, and then put my cards in. And then I've written keywords to link to each pull that I've got here. This is again another simple one. This was done with the Star Tarot, and this is the Simple Sunday Spreads by BohoTarot. So that's just drawn in there, and I've used some mushrooms. I was feeling a little bit earthy when I preset that page up. I have another one here from Tarot Tats&Tea, so Ancestral Conversations, having conversations with your ancestors. Again, really interesting spread to do. So that's my whole spread there. And I screwed up, basically. I printed it twice. One wasn't the right size and one was. So you can see I've got tiny little images of my cards put next to my keys for my questions here. And then there's just how the spread looked on the page, on the table. My week ahead, week 2 in February. So nice and simple. I have stickers and pink pens. Now I did do themes, but I put it in the right place this time. So I've got my theme, what's coming in, what needs attention, and then my reflections here. And you can see I started trying to stick flower stems onto the edges of my boxes. I don't know why, it just felt like that's where they needed to be, rather than random pages floating, or rather than random stickers floating around my page unweighted to something. It just didn't look right with stems. So that's a nice simple one, just with stickers and pens. And I did put down here, so despite the challenges, you're not alone. Listen to your guides. They are there helping you. Have faith and trust in the process. And then I've just put the word flow, because sometimes we get a little bit stuck and we forget to flow, don't we? Here we have the new moon in Aquarius spread. This is an Ethony spread. And I have used, I did use a different deck, look. So I've put the deck, I've stuck the deck in here. So I've used Ghosts and Spirits, and then that's why I've put the pictures onto my page. But in general, it's the same setup as I would normally do, regardless of what deck I use. And the questions are always from Ethony's moon spreads for what I do for my full moon and new moons. So there we go, new moon in Aquarius. This is expanding on the card of the day. So when you pull your card for the day, put it down, and then you pull more cards to expand on it. So the card pull, and I decided to, instead of doing the heart of the matter as my card pull, I decided to pull a card for my heart of the matter. So I pulled 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 cards in total. And I did this one with oracles, because I actually did this morning, to be fair. And I was trying out an oracle deck to see how it worked. So I did 1 card for the heart of the matter, relating to the 2 cards that I jumped out of the deck for my daily energy. Then we have card number 2 is what got me here. So how did I get to this heart of the matter? What's keeping me here? Why am I stuck? What are my blocks? and then what will help me move forward. So what actions do I need to take, or who can help me to move forwards, or how can I get past what I need to do to move forwards. So those are, that's a really great way of expanding on your card of the day if you're unsure with what it's telling you. I was just unsure because I had the Page of Cups and the Queen of Swords, and I just wanted to have a bit more insight into why I had them, and also because when I put them down, the words that came to me was home truths, and that was it. So I wanted to have a bit more insight into, on a Saturday, why I was having such a, or potentially going to have a hard day with some home truths. I have this self-check-in spread, and this one is from Chris at Barely Balanced Tarot. So if you haven't seen his channel on YouTube, go and check him out. And he shared this spread on his YouTube page, on his Facebook page. So I went and added it into my book, ready for when I wanted to use it. So this is a really nice one to use. And as you can see, I've used the Star Tarot, and I have actually taken the cards and put them in this time. There was a lovely in-bulk spread that somebody shared. Now, was this Ethony's spread or was this somebody else's spread? I can't remember whose in-bulk spread I've taken, but I haven't written it down. How naughty of me. Anyway, so that was an in-bulk spread, so one for the start of February, basically. And that one's popped in here in advance, ready to go. Here we have the week of Valentine's. So again, we're still in the pink. And I'm doing energy of the week. How did I get here? What will help me move forwards? And then my reflections. What was the heart of the matter this week I needed to look into? And that could be one card, or in this case, I pulled 4 cards. So that was very interesting to do. And as always, there's a little bit of wisdom there from me as well. And we have my doodles. So the full moon. Now, the full moon was in Leo for, well, it's traditionally in Leo because it's always 6 months ahead of the star sign that we're in. However, here in the UK, we had a weird thing whereby the moon transitioned. When we had the full moon in the UK, it had transitioned at 8:41 p.m. into Virgo. And basically, I'd had enough of the Leo energy and was ready for the Virgo energy. So I was willing Virgo into my life at this point. The spread, however, by Ethony was based on Leo. So we have the Leo sign down here, and we have the cards and the questions and things that she'd asked. But I've just put a little bit there about the Leo energy, what we wanted to do with it, and then obviously the fact that, for me, the fact that I was looking to ground some of that energy and not be so, because I'm an air sign, so air sign with the fire energy that was going on and a full moon, it was very combustible for me. So I needed some dirt to fan, put the flames out. So I was waiting for that. Here I have a Sekhmet spread. Again, it's another one from Ethony. So it's a 4-card spread, and I've just split the page up to go with the cards. So it doesn't show quite so well, I don't think, on camera, but there's little lines that separate just to make it look a bit more interesting, basically. And the colours that go with Sekhmet. So I've just got gold, black and red on this page. Then I have a simple Sunday spread from BohoTarot. What do I need to release in my life? 3-card spread, as you can see, nice and simple, little bit of doodling, pink and black. So I'm still in my themes there for February, and using my stickers to put down here rather than actually taking pictures and sticking them in. This one was a good one. It was fun to do. So I have a life purpose spread here. I think this is just from a collection of spreads that I actually hold. So I've stuck my cards in for my life purpose, and the questions are there, and I've doodled a little bit of text in with my cards for what I think they mean, because obviously our life purpose does sometimes feel like it changes. So I wasn't going too in depth. This one was for me, I was trying to treat this one as light-hearted to help me see through the flames that was engulfing my life at that point in time. Then we have a simple Sunday spread here, and how could I be a better friend to myself this year? Kept it simple because I was struggling. So you can see there's really not a lot of text in each one, but that's okay. Because being a better friend to yourself and showing yourself kindness or honouring your path or appreciating your journey are very important. And if that involves not killing yourself to overachieve, then That's perfectly okay. And I think this is my last page for February. So we have the week ahead spread, where I wanted the energy of the week. What do I need to release? What do I need to embrace? And then my reflection of the past week and my kind of like following on from there. So the reflection was really insightful. And remember, never too late for your dreams. Then we have the March pre-setup. So I've shown a couple of pages of this. So we're going to do it quickly. There's the grid, and I explain that in my setup video, how and what the measurements are and how I do that. Yes, it's green because we have, the theme is green for March for me. Then we have my, as you can see, my week ahead spread pre-setup with situation, obstacle, solution, reflection. And space to do whatever I want to do there. We have my throwdown page where I'll put the date, the question, the mood that I'm in, the cards and some journaling there. Sometimes, you know, when you throw down 3 cards, you just want to see what's going on with your life or your day, or you want to expand on your card of the day. And I've designed somewhere to put it so I can fill this out throughout the month. We have the 3-point spread here ready to go. I have a simple Sunday spread ready to go. And you can just see these nice and simple tarot spreads. I've got washi tape, different colour pens, mostly sticking with the theme at the moment, but at this point in time it's all green. I've done my page here for the new moon in Pisces. What I haven't got yet is the questions to put in there from Ethony's website. So I will go get those and I'll put them in, ready for my spread. Feeling super creative and wanted to get well ahead of myself. I've done the next week ahead spread, so I have my situational focus, challenges being presented by that situation, suggested solution or action for the situation, and then my reflections and lessons from the past week. I have left some pages here for some simple Sunday spreads and anything else that catches my eye. And then I've got my St. Patrick's Day week ahead spread here, ready to go, 14th to the 18th of March. So we're going to do situation focus again, presenting challenges, suggested actions, reflections and actions. And you can see my pot of gold with the rainbow. So my space to free text here, and my wrap up for the week there. And I have some, that's like glittery, green glittery washi tape. So cool. Then I've put my full moon spread here ready. Week ahead for the 21st to 25th March, waiting to be drawn up. Couple more pages for some simple spreads, and the last week of March into April there, and one more page there for some spreads to go in. So when I say I find spreads, you know, on people's Facebook pages, when it takes my fancy, these blank pages, I just draw them in ready to go. And I'm quite liking that. As I've said before, I'm working with these journal stickers. So they are serving me very well, and I knew I was going to run out of them. I have ordered some more. Here they are. They come in a little spiral bound, so it's from Magical Notes again. And she also gave me that layout there for the journal page that I've recreated into my journal. And then there's my pages of stickers. So there we go. That's those. Nearly forgot what I was doing. I'm just going to have a sip of tea, and then let's take a look at the decks I'm working with. So I have the Wild Unknown Pocket Tarot in a tin. So it's quite a big tin. And that's this one. Comes with a really big book, so I can't do what I normally do, whereby I when they're the little white books, I normally put the book in there and clip it to the bottom of my box, and then I can just keep my cards in the box. It doesn't quite work like that with this one. This one is quite chunky, and what I have done is I've colour coordinated the pages as well, because I found that I wasn't familiar with the court cards, because they're a bit different, they have different names. So I need to look up the court cards every so often to remind myself, because we have the Daughter of Pentacles. So we have daughters, sons, mothers and fathers, basically. So I not having worked with that system before, I just needed to know what they were. Here are the cards. So they are a nice card stock. They've got a semi-sheen to them. I think because this is, forgive me, for those of you who know this deck well, I think there's like a first and second version. So I think this deck has some slightly different cards in it. And if I remember rightly, there was a card different to the one in the guidebook that I've noticed so far. There was something where I was looking for a card and it wasn't quite... Was it a wand? I don't know if it was a wand. I feel like I want to say it was one of the wands cards that was different. But anyway, we digress. So I had these. They're either really, really dark black cards, or we have these lovely pops of colour. And in general, I found them to be quite nice. That Tower card, how I remember it well. So I don't know if you've all worked with this one, but I know it's very popular. Some of you say you get very solid messages from this deck. I can't say that I connect to the images. So I don't get any, I have zero connection to most of the images in this deck. I just read it based on what I know is how I work with this deck. And then to expand on it, I was using this one. So if this was my card of the day, I would pull a couple of cards to see what my card of the day was all about. So I do my energy for the day. So this was energy. And then obviously if I got something horrendous, like the Judgment card, or can't find it now, the Tower. Let's just put that one there, shall we? Something that just looked a little bit dark and mysterious. Then I would ask, you know, what's going on with this card, or what do I need to know about this card? And I'd use those ones that I pulled either side to go with it. Sorry, that doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Anyway, I've had a very hard week, so you can tell my brain is exceptionally scrambled, so I do apologise. This deck, however, I love this deck. It's just like a coming home deck, this one. So I like to use this just to, I don't know, this is like the easy read, I suppose. So is this like the one where everyone says, like, you know, my quick fire deck, the one that I can not spend ages pondering? This is maybe that for me then. This is maybe the deck whereby I can just get a quick read of the energy and what's going on around me. And I just love the colour. The colour is so gentle on the eyes, the images, hilarious. I love the quirkiness of the images. And I just, yeah, so I really enjoy this deck. So that's my Trionfi. The deck I was getting to use in my spreads was the Star Tarot. And for anyone familiar with this deck, the book is amazing. It's a very big book. It's a very well written book. It has a lot of information in here. And I actually found I was reaching for the book to try and understand the cards better. But the images in the cards are just glorious. And I probably find this deck better than the Wild Unknown. If I was picking, it's probably this deck over that one. Although out of all three, it's back to the Trionfi because I kind of know it so well. And the images are beautiful. So as I said, this is the one I was using for spreads to expand on and understand better. I mean, this Six of Swords, I just think is gorgeous. I love the fact it's got the orcas in there, kind of guiding you away in your little canoe to, you know, sunnier landscapes. The brightness and pops of the yellows when they're in this card, you know, sunflowers. The fact that they were slightly different, it's not, to me, an RWS clone. We have this beautiful Sun card, our Queen of Pentacles. There's so much symbolism in the cards as well, and the book does tell you about all of the symbols, which is really nice. It's our King of Swords. So you do get cards like this every so often, which sort of throw you a little bit, because you do look at them and think, so what on earth is that? But it tells you about why they're there. It tells you about the colours. It tells you about the shapes. Sometimes they represent power symbols, alchemical symbols. And this deck obviously brings in a lot of astrology, being called the Star Tarot. So it just has an awful lot of hidden depth to it. There's our Hermit, Ace of Wands. So yeah, I did really enjoy this deck. And again, there's another one with the Nine of Cups. There's so much more in this one. So we've got chakras, peace, transformation. I mean, it really is just a beautiful card. Then we have the Eight of Swords. Another card where you might be a bit confused if you're familiar with traditional Rider-Waite systems for the Eight of Swords. But if you look a little bit deeper here, what you can see is it's sort of stuck. You know, we're pinned down in the four corners and then pinned in the heart there. So there's something missing whilst we've got the flight of perhaps thoughts taking off above. So just looking for the other ways out of situations, and knowing that you can ultimately remove the swords that are keeping you pinned or hemmed into the situation. There's our Four of Swords. And I love the little spirit animals in this one, giving strength. But yeah, I've really enjoyed this deck. I have to say though, it's a bit too big for me to work with. And I do really enjoy this matte gilding on it. The backs, but I am contemplating, because it's just, if you see, slightly bigger than my ability, and I certainly can't shuffle the deck as a whole. I have to shuffle it in like quarters or thirds in order to shuffle it. So for that reason, I could do with it being just a fraction shorter. So I am contemplating how much of this, my little mountains, I can lose on the top and bottom without losing too much of the image, because there's still a bit there on the blue that I could lose, but I want to keep I wanted to try and keep them even on the top and bottom, so I didn't damage the reversals for the meanings of the card. Anyway, I think I really truly have rambled. I'm sorry about that. As I said, brain's not in it, and I do apologise. I am taking my own advice with the Queen of Cups. I have a chamomile and mint tea here, one of the teas from my witch's casket boxes, so I am being mindful. I have meditation oils, and I'm being nice to myself today, and I'm taking it easy. So please enjoy your tarot journaling, take care, and I will see you next month. Bye.